coalition of civil society organizations has urged media practitioners to give ample coverage to the ongoing National Assembly election petition tribunals sitting across the country. The African Parliament Advocates and Reform Group, in collaboration with the Coalition of Parliamentary Advocates and Democracy Consolidation in Nigeria, at a news briefing decided that the poor reportage on the National Assembly tribunals. Convener of the coalition, Chibuzo Okereke, said prominent amongst the cases before the tribunals is the Kano State Central Senatorial District petition, which is now set for judgment. Okereke said Kano Central is about the largest senatorial district in Nigeria and the only senatorial district in the 2023 general elections where the person returned as the winner by INEC relinquished the victory.
In these 2023 presidential and National Assembly elections, we have over 50% of the National Assembly seats are being challenged in various National Assembly election petition tribunals across the country. The Democratic Consolidation Coalition Nigeria has once again observed with concern that it appears there is unintended or intended suppression or low interest of media organization in reporting the proceedings of the National Assembly election petition proceedings.
Well, Chibuzo Okereke, convener, Coalition of Civil Society Organizations, joins us in the studio to speak more on this issue. From what statistical data did you put together to arrive at that conclusion?
Well, we have been observing the election petition matters.
And watching all the news channels. You don't see the...
Well, you can testify that the presidential election petition dominates all the major screens across the country, and people are aware of the facts of the cases. And the implication of this is that when judgments are given, the people are already aware that this was the fact of Party A issue, and this was the response of Party B, and they can even start participating actively and expecting what kind of judgment.
But are you aware that quite a number of the state election petition tribunals are sitting in Abuja?
Of course, but but National Assembly election petition tribunals are different states of the Federation. You will agree with me that even during the elections, the executive campaigns dominated the big screens. Our challenge is that, one, the National Assembly is the fulcrum of democracy, and we have a new electoral act that we have not used before. And people complain a lot about the issue of technicalities. We use Kano Central as an example. If you look at Kano Central, the electoral act may not have contemplated a situation where somebody has been returned will relinquish that particular victory. What we have is withdrawal of candidates before election and what have you. So that is a case in point that
it's a personal choice.
It's a personal choice, but the implication of another person assuming that seat and people, challenging.
What's the implication? If I won an election and I say, sorry, I don't want to go there again for personal reasons.
What is the legal framework for replacement of the candidates? Those are the facts that needs to be understood in line with the relevant provisions of the Electoral Act, Section 285 of the Constitution. These are key because if we don't lay the facts bare, then the low perception on judiciary will continue, the low perception on the National Assembly will continue. And that's what we are worried about. And we believe that, for instance, the Kano Center is coming up on the 24th. The judgment is already coming. How many people are aware of the facts of the case, which is a matter of law? And when judgment comes, people accuse the judiciary of focusing on technical, because democracy itself is a question of process and rule of law. And rule of law involves processes and procedure prescribed in relevant extant laws that must be followed. And this is what people are contending in various courts. I believe that when people are more aware, like we have emphasized, our eyes are on that particular case and many other cases across the country. And we believe that when Nigerians are more aware, it will help to restore public trust in public institutions and also, enlighten people to participate in electoral process. It's very key. And we are not accusing the media because
I just wanted you to learn because I was going to tell you that news is competitive and the editor that sits on that high table, you understand, decides, what is news at the moment.
Absolutely, but it's a highly contentious public interest matter. What we're actually seeking for was a kind of collaboration that allows the media to also create opportunity to beam their torchlight. Because we believe, in line with Section 22 of the Constitution, the media is an important body that oversights even the judiciary. Because whenever you cover news, cover proceedings, you bring in transparency into how the proceedings are being conducted, and then people get to know. So we're not calling out the media per se.
At least for once, the media is not being lambasted as the cause of the problem of Nigeria. Rather,
no.
We are the troubleshooters in this country.
The oversight the media exercises is very critical in all these proceedings, because you see the elections were very contentious and there were a lot of issues. And when we have it transparently beamed for the entire country to look at, especially big media organizations like Arise and other people, you will discover that we'll make progress and people will believe in the system, because all this low perception of the judiciary is a perception, and it has to do with information gap in the way the proceedings were being conducted. You will just wake up on the 24th of July and then you get judgment on Kano Central, and people will be asking questions.
And Chibuzo, let me assure you and other Nigerians that we got full crew in Kano. And if that judgment is big enough to make the headlines, it will make the headlines.
It should.
Well, thank you.
It's big enough, and it should.
Thank you so very much.
Thank you.
Chibuzo Okereke, you won't determine that for us anyway.